Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bubbles virtual environment. I'm still rocking this virtual environment because it's the least taxing on this mobile hardware. As you can see, I can move myself around and not cause any stuttering or any issues with the video quality. I think I finally nailed down the settings in terms of how I can record and at the best frame rate. So today I wanted to show you something fairly interesting that I've been working on for the last few days. Apologies if this video starts to ramble or mumble or any other issues with the audio. I'm going to be pretty excited about all of this, and that's going to show through the video. But today I wanted to demonstrate a project I've been working on, and you can access it through any type of device. It doesn't matter if it's virtual reality headset or not. You can get through it through a mobile phone or a desktop browser or anything that allows access to the internet. So today I'm going to showcase that to you. So I'm going to open up my applications and open Firefox Reality. This is a browser within virtual reality, but you can use it through browser. This uses Hubs by Mozilla. This is a 3D environment engine that allows me to create digital content. You'll see that the room name is called Caitlin Swift's Digital Museum Lobby. So I'm going to show you some of the features and explain it to you. So I'm going to join the room, and it's going to ask to use my microphone. Now Hubs allows for people to interact in any digital environment using microphones and speak to each other. But nobody's really going to be using this during the demonstration setup, so I'll just skip this introduction and enter the room. Now this uses the WebXR framework, which allows a browser extension to run this digital environment, regardless of what browser you're using. So when I press any button to continue, I load the virtual environment. This is Caitlin Swift's Digital Museum, and it's free real estate. It's a development joke. It's just something I threw in for this video to illustrate the point. As you can see, it's a virtual environment, and it's scaled to anything that I'd like. It's a pretty basic environment so far, mainly because the floor is not changed, the walls are not changed. I'm using default assets that I've scaled up and tweaked a little bit, but it's still just a demonstration of what I'm trying to work with. As you can see, I made this little easel here, and it says, "Welcome to Caitlin Swift's Virtual Art Gallery. It features all of the artistic work created by Caitlin Swift. This digital space is still a work in progress, so please ignore the necessary renovations." Goofy image. Now, as you can see, the text quality is not that great. I'm still new to 3D modeling, so it's pretty low res in terms of what I can create, and it's not great, but it's just a demonstration preference. So you may be wondering, who is Caitlin Swift? That is Caitlin Swift. Caitlin Swift is an artist, and I wanted to showcase her work in a virtual environment. So basically, I separated all of her artwork into 3 specific categories. There's more categories demonstration. She has paintings, tattoos, and drawings, and I've separated them into individual wings of this digital environment. Because digital space is infinite, or as infinite as you can tweak with, you can experience her artwork in any type of form. So, as you can see, when I go to paintings, you'll see open link on the door whenever you place your pointer or mouse or VR handset in front of the door, and you see this option to go into a separate wing. Whenever you click this, you exit the virtual environment, open up the browser again, and you basically experience an exit of the hub room, and you load the next room. I wish this was seamless, but there's only so much we can do. Eventually it'll get there, I guarantee it. So I'm going to join the room. It'll ask me for the same setup to allow for my microphone and enter the room. But once I hit enter room, I've entered another virtual environment. As you can see, this is a smaller scale room that was the previous lobby, but it pulls in images from her website of her artwork, specifically the paintings she's made. Since around 2018, possibly beforehand. I'm not particularly familiar with all of the details. This is mainly just a development test. As you can see, there's the easel again. This is artwork pulled from her website, and you can view it in a VR-based environment. For example, you can get closer by teleporting in close and examining the individual elements of a blown-up painting. In this specific case, it's a watercolor. Now, I haven't gotten the images at the right resolution so that you can get the best visual quality, but as a testing demonstration, you definitely do get a pretty decent sense of scale and the stroke work and the specific elements of the piece. And I find that very fascinating. There's also an interesting 3D effect based off of how you view it at a specific scale. And I find that really interesting, especially in VR. And that's why I created this type of project. Now again, this is just a development test. This is only the first step. I've only played a few hours in Spokes, which is their development tool to access this type of environment. But I think that it is pretty interesting. And it shows. And I've also linked back to the lobby so you can bounce back and forth between the rooms. And I can expand the digital space as much as I like, allowing for interesting content. Now this is a test of expanding the room beyond the individual space, and you can teleport around and explore a 3D-based virtual museum. And I think that there's a lot of potential here, at least in terms of development tests. As a project, it is very interesting. Now again, it's default. It's not 100% customized yet. I've only really added forth and pulling the images, but I do think that it's a pretty good example of what I'd like to do in the future. I'd like to do VR-based development work, and I think this is a pretty good example. So I'm going to end the video here, mainly because it's getting a little bit long-winded and rambling. But thank you for watching, and I really do appreciate it if you stuck with the videos this far. If you'd like to see this room that I developed, or the series of individual segments, I'm going to place links in the description so you can browse the museum that I've created so far. And you can also have a link to her website, which I also helped develop. But it allows for more interesting dialogue. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see some more of this content. I'm going to be developing this project moving forward, and you'll see some developments, at least in terms of how I learn development in VR. It's going to take some long hours and some strenuous activity, but I think I'm going to get something pretty interesting from this project. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it.